Hey, welcome back. We're going to take a look at how we install modules for AzerothCore, which is essentially just pre-made scripts that exist on the catalog that we can just download, drag, drop, and recompile, and it will work just out of the box. So we install it by going to the module page, the catalog page, sorry. Find modules you need in the AzerothCore catalog. Is the site not working? Yeah, it seems like it's very slow. All right, I'm gonna go to all modules, let it load. I want the transmog one, so I'm gonna download this, and I want the Luna one because I will want support for Lua down the future, because I have a feeling comments on my YouTube videos will request some AIO scripts. I don't know why, maybe because it's very cool. So after we have both of these, I downloaded it before, so let me just it's the same basically. Let me delete it. Gonna open it, gonna copy the folder. Let me just open the Serverlands here. Let's go to the core. Let's go to modules here, and let's just paste the folder that we have from here. We're gonna need to remove the dash master thing. Gonna need to exit this, gonna open this, gonna copy, gonna paste, rename it to remove the dash master. Luna. All right, now when we have both of these, we're gonna go cmake. Gonna need to copy the location of my core folder, which is right here, and I'm gonna make, because I don't have build don't have build 2, I have only build, so I'm gonna make a new folder, call it build 2. Now the thing is, if I have a folder and if I don't, it doesn't really matter, because if I don't, cmake will just create one for me. So I'm gonna hit configure, and we're gonna see that it populates, it creates a new folder for me, just like that. So as before, gonna keep it at 64-bit, nothing changed. Gonna hit finish, let it generate a solution for me, and then we're gonna compile and check it out in game. It's as simple as that. Now the thing is, you have multiple options to choose from. You have 222 different modules you can pick from. Well, I don't know if every single one of them works, but I do know that it's very high quality stuff over there. You can take a look at whatever you want. It's as easy as just download, like we do right now. Just download and give it a go. I've seen many people use many different modules. So I'm gonna finish this up. One thing we have, like extra things we have in addition, is modules configurations, which is static. We have mod transmog and mod Luna, and we have 2 new dist files. All right. With modules, these are the only configuration files, because it's .conf. The only configuration files we don't need to rename to be .conf, but we can keep it as .conf.dist. All right, gonna keep that in mind. Gonna wrap this up, gonna hit generate, and we have a brand new solution now. This solution, I'm gonna go to build 2, gonna open the compiler. And just like before, instead of debug, I'm gonna do release with debug information. I'm gonna hit build solution. Now, one thing we gotta keep in mind is the fact that whenever we are done compiling this, we will have the same structure as what's inside here. At the moment, it's not the same. We don't have the bin folder yet. But when we will need to copy data from the build folder here. I'm gonna need to copy data from config here, data here, and these DLL files. Gonna need to copy them over. We're gonna take a look at it when we're done compiling. All right, welcome back. We have some issues. We have hackfix, which should be within unit methods.h. It doesn't have something that it requires called hackfix. So what it means is we have a rather recent script and a not so recent core. So for that, we will need to update the core. Now to do that, I recommend backing it up, doing like where is it? Send to.zip. Gonna need to make sure that it's we have backup in case things go horribly wrong. Go to this folder here when it's done backing things up. I'm gonna right click and do git extensions, and I'm gonna do pull. I'm gonna keep it origin. I'm gonna do pull. So what it does is basically compares all the data that we have on our folder and what the commits have done over time. We can see that it has a lot of SQL data, for example. So it is done. Now we need to boot the server. We're gonna need to recompile it. So we're gonna go here, maybe even regenerate from scratch. I think it would be the safest way. So we're gonna do build number 3. Gonna go ahead and implement it. I think we can drop build 2. It's useless to us. I'm gonna configure, generate. And just as before, gonna do release with debug information, and it should work just fine, but we're gonna see very soon. All right, we're done compiling, and we can clearly see that this is a success now. So that means that we have now all the files that, all the updates, all the core updates that we wanted to have initially. So I deleted build 2 because we didn't really need that, didn't have anything useful to us. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy build the original build's data. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy data. I'm gonna copy legacy. I'm gonna copy libsql. And the configs we're gonna do in a separate way for now, because I don't want to override what we have here, because in the configs we have the modules folder and I don't want to overwrite that. So I'm going to paste it, and we can see that we have a new folder here called Lua scripts. Don't need it at the moment, but this is where we will place Lua scripts that we have .lua for. So I'm going to go ahead and copy build, and let's copy the original op server config files over to the build number 3 that we have here. Obviously going to need to rename the whole structure. By default it generates .dist files. We can safely ignore them, or we can straight up just like delete them. It's all the same. So in terms of configs, like I said, this is the only folder where if we have .dist in the end, it doesn't matter, because it knows to load .dist files and not .conf. So we're gonna wait for this to be done, and when it is, it's we can successfully compile the we can successfully boot the server. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go to the database to make sure we know what is the creature that is gonna use we're gonna use to interact with the transmog system. So let's go ahead and do creature template, which is where we store all the creatures on the server. Gonna go to data, and we're gonna do show all. The order by default is whatever was inserted first will appear first. In our case, the fact that this is the ascending order, it's fine, but it will not be ascending order. If we add a new ID, it will not necessarily appear as the first one, like the lowest to the highest. It will appear by date. So we see that we have here transmogrifier. We have 2 of them, and these are the IDs. So we're gonna need to copy this and check it out in game. Now, one thing to note is the fact that they are faction 35, and we're gonna see exactly what that means. I have so many of these open. I'm gonna need to close them a little bit. All right, Trinity Core faction. No, sorry, AzerothCore creature template. And we're gonna do faction. Oh my god, the site is very slow. Faction, and we see that faction. No, this is not it. Oh, faction template. There you go. I thought faction will extend onto this, but no. Faction. Oh. Let's do, there you go, content. We have faction number 35, which is friendly. It means that it goes well with Horde and Alliance. Nobody can attack it. This is what it means to be faction 35. So that makes sense. That's okay. And if we go a little over here, we see that the flag, NPC flag, is 1. NPC flag means that this is a gossip. There you go, NPC flag. It's a gossip creature. It means that when we right click, we can interact with the creature in terms of we can see, we can click on menus that are being controlled either by the database or by a script that we have inside the core. And we will work a lot with gossip systems over time. Gonna make a teleporter, for example, gonna make an upgrader or whatever you will want to do. Gonna work a lot with gossip. We can make it a vendor, we can make it a repairer, we can make it any one of these basically. So this one is a gossip, that is fine. And then we're gonna need to ask, what else do we need? We need to make sure that the script is connected, because the fact that it just exists, that's fine, that's cool. But how does it know what gossip it needs to fetch? So there are multiple ways. It can be smart AI. In our case, it's empty, but even if it wasn't, it will not be viable to us specifically, because the script that we have implemented is a C++ script that is a custom script that does not necessarily can work with smart AI. We have script name. So let's double click on it. Or not. We see the NPC transmogrifier is the script that we wanna, it applies like automatically. So we're gonna copy this just to see where it exists. Like where are you coming from? What do you mean? What do you do? So we're gonna go to the core. I'm gonna go to modules. I'm gonna go to mod transmog, because this is the only one that we have with a script that we can actually like test by spawning a creature at the moment. And we see that we have multiple CPP files in one H file. H stands for it's a header file. So we have CS transmog. CS usually means command script, but yeah, it's a command. So we have portable, async, add, set, all that stuff. If you want to mess with it, you can obviously do it. I don't use transmog as a command. Instead, what I do is I'm going to open transmogrification, and I'm going to do a search, and let's do npc transmog. Does not exist. Maybe it's here. No, yeah, maybe it's here actually. 60 kilobyte. There you go. So actually, let's view it in a more static way. I'm gonna double click on it, and it is being added over here. So I'm gonna do Control C, Control V. After I search, obviously with Control F, so we can see that the class, this entire script, is being linked through this. So this is exactly where all data is coming from. All right. This doesn't need to tell you anything other than give you headache or something. That's okay. We're gonna break it down later on. Not this particularly, because this is like a finished script. We're gonna take existing scripts, gonna update them, gonna create custom ones. We're gonna do a bunch of things where this is not as intimidating as it could be to some of you at the moment. This is just what I want to show you. What do you mean when you say you're gonna implement, you're gonna apply a module? What does it do? So I mean, it does all of this. First of all, it does a bunch of this, which you I mean, that means a lot. That says a lot. And it does all the config and all the predetermined stuff and all the database stuff. It applies it automatically over here. A module is, like I said, is a predetermined script. Well, in our case, a bunch of scripts that have been specifically designed to work with a predefined standalone core version that we're gonna need to just drag drop works. So this is what we want to do. Obviously we've done everything that we need to, but this is just what goes behind the scenes. So summary, this is where the data is coming from. A bunch of other things that we're gonna go through over time, like mana, AI name, max goal, all that stuff. Same for flags, type flags, and movement type, speed, scale, all that stuff. But for now, we just want to see that we have NPC 190,010 and 190,011. So let's go ahead and go in game, spawn them, and let's see what it does. All right, made a brand new character. Gonna log in game. Gonna give it a go now. Let's zoom all the way out, and we're gonna do npc add 999. No, what was it? 190 010. So the fact that this works means that it has been compiled, and it actually, we need to test if it functions well in game. So what we have at the moment, we have a two-handed axe. So let's go ahead and give it a go. Let's try to find lookup item axe. It's a lot of things to go through, but I mean, we're gonna do our absolute best to do it as efficiently as possible. So class hunter, no, requires level 80. Let's do level 79 because we want to be level 80. All right, let's go ahead and edit the configs that we have here. Actually, we don't need to go to the core. We're gonna need to go to the build folder, bin, over here, configs, module, and transmog. I need to copy this, and this is the file that we have. And now I want to remove all the limitations that it has. I want to remove absolutely everything from here. I want to allow literally everything. Allow legendary artifact. Allow tradable. Yeah, sure. This and this, and some of this along with this. Everything needs to be one. Absolutely every single thing. Let's do one here as well. Here, let's add some space like it had before. And over here, we're not gonna touch anything. Gonna save it, and I'm gonna do reload config. All right, let's go in game. All right, so as soon as I reload it in game, I see that world config settings reloaded. That means that it works. I guess you can call it that. Jesus, so many tutorial things. All right, so I'm gonna right click and go over to where we had before main hand where it doesn't work. And now we can see that it actually works. It has a lot of things. So let's give it a go. Let's see how this looks like. If I do this, like I said, might need some money. Modify money 9999999. A lot of nines. Yep. All right. Let's do next remass thing. That's cool. Yeah, definitely works. Let's do some other main hand stuff. Actually, let's do invisible. From now on, I attack with an invisible weapon. But here and behold, I still do this exact same stats. Nobody can see that I have a weapon equipped.